Can anyone know where the boundaries of these laws are?
Et là, j'arrive plus à me rendormir, donc je préfère vous refaire une sorte de rediffusion. Donc, attendez une minute, je regarde juste. C'est pas grave, t'inquiète pas, je m'étais couché plus tôt et voilà. Ah, du coup, je m'étais endormie dans le bloc. Et l'autre, il voulait absolument me réveiller, mais... Ouais, criez tous, allez-y. Tout ça, c'était pour me réveiller, ça s'attendait. Faut qu'ils réfléchissent parce que moi, je vais leur dire la même chose aux autres. Je vais leur dire, écoutez, si vous voulez faire la même chose qu'ils vous demandaient de me faire, vous pouvez très bien crier et le réveiller en sursaut. Voilà. Mais, et toi, tu vas bien, ma chérie? Je pensais qu'elle faisait dodo. Je vais démarrer un live parce que ça me répondait. Attendez, je vais répondre vite fait.
Oh, it's just some chronic problem I have flaring up again. Nothing to worry about.
J'espère que vous arrivez quand même à m'entendre, parce que bon, là c'est peut-être mieux, non? J'ai fait en sorte que vous puissiez bien m'entendre quand même. Voilà, nous on va commencer ça. Le claquement des mousquets brisant le silence. Donc déjà on va sortir... Ah, regardez qui c'est qu'on affronte. Mister Goro. Cette semaine-là. Et bon, nous on va sortir d'ici. Puis on va aller jeter un coup d'œil. Je suis fatiguée. Enfin, fatiguée. Je voulais plutôt dire, je suis en train de me réveiller. Et comment je suis d'habitude, ceux qui me connaissent bien. Quand je me réveille. Bientôt, nous retrouverons notre marchand favori. Pour l'instant, il n'est pas revenu. Allez, direction Fontaine. Il y a déjà quelqu'un à cette heure-ci? Salut? Il y avait une petite personne qui était venue nous rendre visite. Ça y est, pas étonné. Moi j'ai dit bonjour quand même. Parce que ça vient juste jeter un petit coup d'œil, mais au moins ça passe un coup. C'est déjà très mignon de votre part. Attends, vous m'entendez mieux là, oui. Une nouvelle.
Miss Chiori?
Your talk with the investor sure went fast. The aquabus hasn't even arrived yet. Oh? And who are they?
Allow me to introduce you. This is the Traveler and Paimon.
Pleased to meet you.
Likewise! We've heard the owner of Chioriya Boutique is a skilled seamstress, so it's a real pleasure to finally meet you in person.
Why, thank you. I strove to create an outfit that matched her high social station as the demoiselle. So tell me, what happened? I can tell the conversation didn't go quite as expected.
Well, it's like this.
Ugh.
I know, Chiori, you don't have to say it. You did remind me that this investor was a little bit sketchy.
Yes, there's no doubt about that.
But how could I pass it up? He offered me twice as much as the others.
And therein lies the problem.
Yes, but just put yourself in my shoes. After obtaining such an excellent script, it's only natural that I would want to make the most of the film. The budgets that the others had proposed were nowhere near enough. It's difficult to find someone willing to front such a large amount of mora, so...
Don't be sad, Xavier. We might be able to help scrounge up some more together for you.
Oh, thank you, Paimon. That means a lot to me. But the cost of the film is staggering. I'm afraid that any mora we can scrounge together in a short amount of time won't even be able to cover the actors' fees.
We need to move on. What's happened has already happened, and there's no changing it. But now's not the time to give up.
What? You're saying that you have a plan?
No, that's not what I mean. I'm simply saying I wouldn't give up just yet. The actors I recommended aren't just after Mora after all.
Really? Then where do you live?
We Malazines live in Marcy Village. The only way to enter is from underwater.
Oh, you must be pretty tired after work every day, right? I mean, you have to swim all that way just to go home.
We are so thoughtful. But some Malazines choose to live in the court of Fontaine because it's so much more convenient.
This is our stop.
Oh, we've arrived.
Avec justement
But
Yoko,
I
c'est vrai
haven't
que son
even
frère
finished
il a
chatting with
accompagné.
Abel yet.
Yo.
I also enjoyed Abel's introductions to Fontaine along the way.
Quittez-moi.
Everything you described was so clear and detailed that we can't help but want to hear more.
Bah oui, elle a mis son skin du coup.
Thank you so much.
Elle a mis aussi
I'm
nouveau
usually
vêtement.
working here on this aquabus, so I hope I'll have the chance to see you again. There are still many more places I'd like to introduce to you.
Alors là, c'est L2 qui m'invite en partie, c'est niette. Je ne veux plus revenir avec lui pour l'instant. Le coup gol qu'il m'a fait,
Welcome to the court of
vouloir me
Fontaine.
réveiller alors que je dormais bien,
Chiori, you sure have changed a lot.
c'est-à-dire que je suis
This is
capable
the
de
first
m'endormir à
time we've
n'importe
seen
quelle
you
heure.
since you left Inazuma.
I haven't realized it's been so long. I was in such a rush when I left that I didn't even get to say goodbye.
Thank you for extending the invitation, Mr. Xavier. I'm looking forward to a fruitful trip here in Fontaine.
It's an honor to have the head of the Kamisato clan visit us.
So they are who you meant when you said you had actors coming from Inazuma?
Oh? It's the Traveler and Paimon.
Wow, what a coincidence! Ayaka and I were just talking about you on the way here. Are you also here for the film?
We just ran into Xavier earlier and came over with him.
But I'm not an actress. Sir Kamisato and Lady Ayaka are the real actors here. I'm just tagging along with Ayaka to have a good time together.
Je pensais vraiment avoir le rôle principal. Non, pauvre Fel.
About that, I mean, how was I supposed to contact you when I was making preparations for the film? I figured you were probably busy, and I didn't want to disturb you. So I could only keep you in the back of my mind while I sought other actors to play the lead roles in the film.
I had been thinking about a surprise reunion with you during our trip here, but you still managed to surprise me first.
Oh, so you all know each other already! My, what a coincidence! What are the chances everyone could be brought together here like this? Why don't we go to Hotel de Boer and catch up over a meal? I've already made a reservation.
Huh? Did you reserve 2 spots for us too?
Yes, of course, of course. I'll be sure to tell the boss to serve a few more delicious dishes just to make sure there'll be enough food.
Very well. Then please, kindly lead the way, Mr. Xavier.
Oui, parce que j'en ai un qui est en train de m'inviter et j'ai fait... Je sais pas s'il comprend l'ampleur qu'il a fait tout à l'heure.
Wow, the buildings in Fontaine are so tall. Just look at how big they are.
And there's the fountain that Aval mentioned earlier. It really is a magnificent sight.
And look at that huge spinning sphere. Where does it get its power? Wait a sec! Could it be one of those clockwork mecha we've heard so much about?
Alors, excusez-moi, je regarde exactement qui c'est, mais je vous jure, c'est lui. Je n'y vais pas. Calvez-nous. Pourquoi m'invite-t-il? Attendez, les amis, je suis là. D'accord, il m'invite avec des potes à lui. Avec elle deux. Oh, putain. Non. Si je rentre avec eux, je suis en plein truc. Je leur dis, je suis en plein rave. Oui. Salut, ça va et vous? Toi, me parle pas pour l'instant, s'il te plaît, L2. Sinon, je te jure, je demande à tout le monde de te faire le même coup que tu m'as fait. Tu vas pas aimer ça quand tu dors, te faire gueuler dans les oreilles. Ouais? Oui, mais moi, j'ai pas besoin d'être réveillée, que la santé est moins stable que toi. Oui, qu'y a-t-il? Ah, félicitations. Excusez-moi, je suis un peu en live en ce moment. Bon, excusez-moi les amis, si vous entendez des voix derrière, je sais pas rien. Oui, mais est-ce qu'il y a végétaux ou pas? Parce que faut que je mute végétaux. Parce qu'il aime pas les lives. Attends. Personne n'est là, de toute façon, c'est des rediffusions et puis ils sont pas du genre méchants dans le mien. Justement, ils soutiennent. Oui, mais je fais des lives quand même quand je me réveille. C'est des rediffusions. Ouais, mais personne. Ouais, même s'il y aurait quelqu'un, ils sont gentils. sont intéressés par le jeu, par tout ce que j'ai fait, tout. Ouais. Bah c'est clair, surtout que là c'est sur Genshin. Et puis on a fait un concept, c'est d'accepter quand même tous ceux qui rentrent dans mon machin. Mais bon, quand il y a vraiment, comment dire, l'aventure en route, je peux pas trop accepter tout le monde dans le machin, dans mon monde.
So
Yeah.
this is what food from Fontaine is like. It sure is different from what we have in Inazuma. How should I describe it?
Ah, c'est Végéto qui m'a envoyé une
Seems like
invitation.
you have to go through a lot more steps to make them. And the
Faut miser
flavor is
pour
many
après
layers
passer.
too.
Ah, yes. When I first went to Inazuma, I actually thought the food there tasted a little too bland. It took some time for me to get used to it.
Toi, t'as intérêt à tenir ta
Let's
promesse
get
demain.
back to the purpose of this trip for a moment, shall we?
Tu te rappelles pas, en échange de
How have
Kitsune?
preparations for the film been coming along, Mr. Xavier?
Well, I've already assembled most of the film crew, a lighting specialist,
Il a
a
eu
prop
Kitsune en
manager,
échange d'un
and a
direct
costume
permanent,
designer.
normalement.
I've also bought the
Il devrait
copyrights
donner à
from the
Meliodas.
novel's author.
Oh, it's called The Two Musketeers, right? I read the script you sent me on the way here. The story is pretty good.
Originally, I was
d'entrée,
planning to
donc
start
là-
filming as soon as Sir Kamisato and Lady Ayaka arrived in Fontaine, but I'm afraid I've run into a bit of a
Moi, par contre,
problem.
faut savoir, je suis
Oh.
pas comme toi, tu vois.
What is it?
It has to do with the film's investor, Mr. Morris. He suddenly informed
En
me
fait,
this
c'est le
morning that
vendeur, c'est que
he's
c'est pas bon du tout.
encountered some
Ça veut dire qu'il faut que je
financial
dorme.
trouble and will be
Encore, il est
unable to
épuisé au
release
bout
to
d'un
me the
moment.
amount of funding agreed upon.
It's said that Fontaine's legal system is well developed.
Ah.
If he has violated the contract, then can't you simply take him to court over the matter?
Tu es sûr
Ah,
que tu me le
well,
donnes vraiment?
I'm still more concerned about filming. Even if I were to take him to court, I'm afraid it would take months
Non, pas
before the
encore.
case could even
Je
be
traîne plus trop
heard.
pour l'instant, il faut que je fasse du
Then-
Genshin.
Is there a way we could raise funds ourselves to solve the problem?
I've considered that option too, but unfortunately, it's difficult to gather
Ouais,
such a
j'avais dit.
large amount of mora on such short notice. Besides, we have to consider the film festival's submission deadline.
Mr. Xavier, if Ayaka and I were willing to perform for free, would that resolve the problem you are currently facing?
What? No, out of the question. To have you
Mais
come
ce
all
serait bien
this
que quand
way
tu tiens
just
pas
to
des
act
promesses,
for
je suis pas contente
free?
du tout.
Oh, no, that won't do.
There's no need to worry, Mr. Xavier. My brother and I had actually intended to work for free after receiving your invitation. Inazuma has only recently reopened its borders, and needs to strengthen its relations and cultural ties with other nations. We didn't have many collaboration projects with Fontaine in the past, so we hoped this trip would serve as a good start for the future.
Indeed. You could say that's the real reason why the Yashiro Commission agreed to come to Fontaine.
I understand, but having you two act for free just doesn't seem right.
Bon, par contre, mise en garde. Hein.
Not at all. While we're officially here to conduct a cultural survey of sorts, we must express our sincerity if we want to establish formal cultural ties with your nation. This film will serve as proof of friendly cooperation and cultural
Bon, mise en
exchange
garde, elle
between
par contre,
Inazuma
et
and
un peu avec tout
Fontaine.
le monde, sauf Végéto qui
It's my
m'invite pas
hope
toutes
that
les
the
5
film
minutes.
can be finished and released as
Le
smoothly
2.
as possible.
Il y a ma meuf qui
If
vient
you
chez
still
moi.
don't feel
On
comfortable
rentre en
with this
train
arrangement,
jusqu'à chez moi.
I would also be more than happy to be introduced
Quoi?
to some other renowned individuals in
Ouais,
Fontaine's
je suis
literary
lesbienne,
and
moi.
artistic circles.
Et donc, comme vous connaissez son
All right,
caractère,
I'll do as you
vous n'avez
say.
pas cherché à trop
Thank
m'inviter non
thank
plus.
you
Si elle
so
veut avec moi
much.
un truc.
I'll make sure to cobble together enough mora now, even if it means selling my house, my camera,
Okay.
and every single family heirloom.
Come on now, no need to go
Ma
that
petite
far.
chérie, elle prend soin de moi,
I'll
quoi.
also
C'est-
help you out as a brand
Vu que,
sponsor.
comme je t'ai dit, ma santé n'est pas stable et que tout à l'heure, t'as failli faire la bêtise de me réveiller, j'ai dû vraiment partir pour éviter d'être mal. Je suis désolée d'ailleurs, mais c'était que le moyen de m'endormir.
Me too. Even though I didn't bring much more to spend on this trip, it's still better than nothing.
You are too kind, all of you. I really don't know how to.
Ew. All right, enough about that. Now that we have Xavier's savings, my support and 2 leads who are willing to act for free, I think we will be able to make this happen. So, instead of Mora, you'll help with filming and production.
Oh, but how can we help with that? We don't know much about making a film.
All right. Pull yourself together, Xavier. Tell us if there are still any open positions left among the crew.
All right. Let me think. We still need a camera operator, a clapper loader, and someone to manage logistics. I originally wanted to personally serve as director, but I've been too busy working as the producer. So the positions of director and director's assistant will also need to be filled.
Paimon knows what the director and the logistics support person do, but what's a clapper loader?
The clapper loader is responsible for using the clapper board to record and organize the information of each shot. When the camera operator begins shooting, the work requires both patience and careful attention to detail.
A clapper board? Oh, you mean the thing they hold that goes clap whenever they start filming?
Yes, that's right. Are you interested in that job?
For sure! Paimon's always wanted to try that!
Alright, then you'll be our clapper loader. I can find someone from the store to help with logistics. What do you think, Xavier?
Oh, fine by me. As for our camera operator, I was thinking of letting the Traveler take the role.
Oh, she's great when it comes to using a camera. Paimon can't even count how many things we've taken photos of during our journey.
Yes, that's also what I was thinking. I noticed the Traveler had an eye for photography and composition when we worked together previously.
I'm sure that's due to the Traveler's journey across Teyvat and all the places they've seen. After so many adventures, using a camera must be second nature by now.
What do you say, Traveler? Are you interested in the
C'est
job?
parce que j'ai des bateaux rapides maintenant. J'ai pris le pass.
Thank you. It really means a lot to me. Come on, friend. Let me give you a big warm hug.
Moi j'ai le masque des Kitsune.
So, all that's left for us to find is a director and an
Bah
assistant.
ouais, si tu veux. Attends, je finis juste un peu l'aventure pour tout le monde.
Oh, me! I want to be the director's assistant. All we need to do is help the director, right? I can handle that.
All right, then all we need is a
Vous savez maintenant qu'elle a
director.
pas disparu. Hein. Si j'ai été, c'est
All
pas
the
pour
well-known directors in Fontaine are probably also busy working on their own films these days. I'm not sure who will have time to help.
Oh, Farina helped out a theater troupe recently by serving as an artistic consultant. She could be a good director, right? Besides, it's not like she has anything else to do right now.
Farina? Do you really think Lady Farina would be...
Isn't that the name of Fontaine's Hydro Archon?
Yep, that's her. She helped out a theater troupe not...
Well,
I saw that
moi. Je sais
musical.
pas, moi j'ai.
Don't let her former identity intimidate you.
T'as le masque.
She's the best candidate we can think
l'épée
of
à
right now.
voir, le ruban.
You'll never know until you give her a shot.
Des fragments, je crois que tu peux choper
fine.
aussi là-bas.
You're right, Chiori. I'll do anything for the sake of my film. Anything! Then I'll have to ask the Traveler and Paimon to show me the way to Lady Farina's residence.
Attention, c'est l'épée.
I
Ouais.
just hope she'll agree to help.
Do you need us to also come along?
No, there's no need to trouble you with this.
Et il faut
Besides,
donner au
you
total
just
25
arrived in
petites
Fontaine,
choses
and I'm
esprit,
sure there are many
petites
places
flammes
you
bleues.
would like to visit. Just leave this task to me. It's part of my duties as the producer.
Very well. Then we'll be waiting to hear the good news.
I'll go with you. By the way, you might want to consider bringing a gift.
And don't worry, we won't simply drop you off at Farina's place. We know Farina pretty well by now, so having some familiar faces there should help your chances. Besides, the whole thing was our idea in the first place.
All right, then I'll start making preparations. As for the gift...
A gift for someone who was once seen as the Hydro Archon. I wonder what she would like.
I recall that Lady Farina once fancied a clockwork ring, so perhaps I should get another exquisite clockwork contraption for her.
Ouais, c'est le guide de Tears of the Kingdom.
Can't we
Zelda
just
Tears of
bring
the
some
Kingdom.
desserts, like the Fontanellia mousse?
J'en avais un en double. Du coup, c'est le cadeau que je vais offrir à ma chérie. Vu qu'elle a
But
le jeu.
wouldn't that be a little too cheap? She does like desserts, though.
Ah, tu devrais essayer, il est
Isn't the
génial.
Fontinalia festival happening right now? I heard Evo
Surtout
tell
sur
us on the
The Kingdom.
Uncle Bus that Farina introduced the tradition of
Sur
going
Switch.
door to door and asking for sweets. To do something like that, she must have a real sweet tooth.
I agree with Yoimiya. If the gift is too fancy, it might actually
Il y a
make
que
her
L2
feel
qui est dispo
more
pour des raids, mais là il est en
uncomfortable.
privé, je crois.
Alright then, let's go buy some Fontinalia mousse.
Moi, je fais vraiment mon petit live en même temps.
But will that really be enough? We'll be asking her to do a lot of work, you know.
You're right. We need to further sweeten the deal.
Huh? You want something even sweeter than Fontinalia mousse?
Yes, we'll need a gift that's sweeter than any dessert in the world.
But what could that be?
Your words of praise.
Bon. On a une nouvelle recette. Ah, ça c'est bon ça. Les nouvelles recettes. Bon, on doit aller au rendez-vous à l'appartement de Furina. Ah, on va revoir Furina. Moi, c'est pas de refus. L2 a disparu de la circulation. Je peux pas voir ceux qui sont mute de toute façon. Alors, végétaux et mute. Ah, du coup, j'ai dû faire une petite coupure. Ben, t'inquiète, je regardais ceux qui étaient mute ou pas. J'entendais plus L2 non plus, je me disais où il est passé. L2 a disparu de la circulation. Ouais les amis, je suis de retour. Ah là, ils sont toujours aussi beaux. Ah là là, de Villette, toujours autant de charisme, ce roi dragon. Je l'aime trop. Et un jour, quand Dottore sera jouable, j'en suis sûre, ils sont obligés de le faire jouable. Il sera dans mon équipe. Ouais, Dottore. Il y a beaucoup de monde qui l'attendent, mais ceux qui en veulent pas, tout de suite, oh non, ce sera pas jouable. Ah, vous en voulez pas, mais nous on va donner notre carte bancaire. Dottore, prends ma carte. Viens dans mon équipe. Et pour l'instant, il y a Navi à avoir. Bon. On va aller voir Furina qui se cache. Furina, on vient te rendre visite. Je sais pas où on vient d'aller. Oh, bien, Maud. Voilà. Ça y est, on est arrivé vers chez... enfin, vers l'appartement de Furina, tranquille. C'est triste depuis l'avoir au premier. Enfin, l'opéra surtout. Je sais pas où elle a quitté vraiment. C'est triste depuis l'avoir
This
là où
is
elle
where
était
Farina
vraiment.
lives.
Okay, I'll go knock on the door.
Oh, viens se réveiller.
Seriously, who's knocking before afternoon tea?
Elle profite de sa vie d'humaine
Who
avant de
are
mourir, normal.
you?
Lady Farina, please allow me to introduce myself. I am Xavier, a film director.
Hello. Oh, is that the traveler in Paimon I see behind you?
Ah ouais,
And
il a joué
who's
quand même.
this?
I'm Chiori.
Ah, the one from Chioria Boutique. Hello, hello. So, what are you all doing here? Do you
Ah bah.
need something?
Did you just get up, Farina? It's already past noon, you know.
Paimon.
Huh? Oh,
Elle est pas
hi.
gentille.
Paimon means the weather is so nice in the afternoon and the sun is so warm. Just like how you make us feel. Sleeping
aurait
in
dû,
late is a really
mon
smart
père, mon ami.
idea.
On est bien au lit.
No. I
dehors,
was just
c'est dur,
up
des
late
fois.
last night reading some novels. What does sleeping in have to do with the weather?
This is a small gift we've prepared for
Ah,
you,
j'ai
Lady
entendu une voix
Farina.
derrière. Ça dit quoi?
We hope you like it.
C'est tout petit du coup.
No need to be so formal. I'm just a
Il a
regular
dit quoi, le deux?
person like everyone else now. Oh, is this Fontinalia mousse? It's one of my favorites.
That's great! So, actually, there's something we need your help with. Given your renowned passion and understanding of
oui.
drama, I would like to ask that you serve as the director of our film crew.
Attends, je monte un peu le son, c'est le
But
faux.
didn't you just say that you're a director?
Yes, but for this particular project, I'm mainly working as a producer. Besides, I'm sure that your understanding of the performing arts far surpasses my own, Lady Farina.
Are the Traveler and Paimon also part of the film crew?
Bah oui, on fait
Yep,
partie de
we
l'équipe.
sure are. Paimon's the clapper loader and she's the camera operator.
Camera operator. That can be a pretty technical job, and it directly affects the final quality of the film. Are you really up to it?
J'ai de l'expérience.
No, I'm not questioning your abilities. It's just that I've never really seen you use a camera before.
Maybe you can come up with a test for the Traveler and see for yourself. If she can satisfy you with her camera skills, then you'd have nothing to worry about and can join the team. What do you say?
You sure are getting better at rolling with the situation, Paimon. Oh, I do wish to see how skilled the Traveler really is with a camera. All right, how about this? We'll work with what we have. I'll give you some scenarios and see if your work is up to my standards.
À vos ordres, réalisatrice Furina.
Very good. It's essential for the camera operator
Ah
to
là là, les gens.
understand the director's vision.
Tout le monde ferait
I'll
pareil,
make
hein,
my
en sorte de
decision
Furina.
after seeing your work. Are you
Faut
ready?
lire sans broncher.
I have high standards, you know.
D'accord.
Okay, grab the camera and I'll give you a scenario.
Alors, on a un scénario qui est en train de se présenter. Alors, thème de tournage réalisé par Furina. Estelle est la patronne de l'atelier Beaumont et a toujours été fière de sa machine à forger, car elle peut non seulement contrôler avec précision la température, mais courage, mais ne demande également aucun effort au forgeron. Attendez. Tournons une vidéo promotionnelle pour son atelier. Pensez à souligner la supériorité de sa machine à forger. Ok. Vous devez filmer plusieurs plans selon les exigences du réalisateur et les compiler pour créer des films. Pendant les tournages, n'oubliez pas de vérifier les exigences du positionnement avant de sélectionner les emplacements appropriés. Le tournage peut s'accompagner d'expériences de narration. Et vous devrez donc sélectionner les narrations les mieux adaptées aux histoires. Ouais, comme le toit, quoi. Ok. Alors, exigence du positionnement. Montrer un plan contenant l'atelier Beaumont. Bah, ça. Ça, c'est l'atelier Beaumont. Situé dans la cour de Fontaine, l'atelier Beaumont est un atelier d'art. Hop. Ça va? Ah. Tu devrais peut-être le prévenir qu'il y a des lives en route. Donc peut-être il aime pas ça, ton bot. Ok. Montrer un plan de la machine à forger en plein travail. Celle-là. Non, Yoda il dort. Ah. Et voilà. Atelier Beaumont. Ça doit être ça. Attention. Le film est créé. Voilà. Non, pour l'instant, cette heure-ci, il est tard. Mais c'est pour plus tard, quand ils écouteront la rediffusion. En fait, ça fait comme si... ça fait surtout comme si, en fait, je leur parlais en direct. Et c'est ça qui est génial pour eux. Ça les aide à suivre. Si on parle pas, c'est plus aussi intéressant, tu vois. C'est ça les efforts qu'on doit faire. Et voilà. Le film est créé.
Oh, it appears that you have more skill than I thought.
L2.
All the shots had a great composition, and I could really feel a connection to the characters and their lines.
La conclusion est donc...
Yeah! Does that mean you agree to be our director, Farina?
Did you think I would agree just like that? After our performance of the Little Oceanid, I've begun to make a name for myself again, you know. In fact, I've already had several troops approach me for the Fontenay Film Festival. Unfortunately, the scripts were all pretty boring and didn't pique my interest. If others were to find out I agreed to work with you so easily, then, well...
Hey, but didn't we have a deal? What else do we need to do to convince you, Farina?
Well, what about the pay?
Huh?
You know, how much you're willing to pay me to be the director?
Il a toujours pas un seul
The
premier
pay
critère.
is also an important factor for me to consider, you know.
Well, I can offer you this much?
Si tu lui mets un kitsune, par contre, qu'il le gâche pas. Hein.
What? That's all?
S'il le mange, faut pas qu'il
If
change de film.
Nervulat were to hear of this, he could charge you with underpaying your labor.
I'm sorry, but our crew is in a tight financial spot at the moment.
I see. Well, even though it's highly unlikely now that I'll join your crew, there's still something I'd like to ask. Exactly what film are you planning to make?
Oh,
Du coup, il a
our
quoi?
script is an adaptation of The Two Musketeers.
Ah oui.
Huh? Wait, you mean the suspense thriller novel that was a #1 bestseller?
Oh, so Farina's read it too.
Par contre, ne change pas de fouet
Of
après.
course I read it. I've always had a keen interest in artistic works that strike a chord with the populace. I see. It all makes sense now. You must have used most of the budget to pay for the copyright.
Not really. The novel's author transferred the copyright to me practically for free once he heard that I wanted to make a film adaptation of the story. The lack of budget is due to another issue.
He probably just wants to get his name out there. so Mora isn't the most important thing to him right now. It reminds me of a delivery courier who wears one of my designs while traveling all across Teyvat. I didn't charge her much for the outfit either. The exposure she provides for my brand is well worth it.
So, are you a big fan of this story, Farina?
Well, it's alright. The pacing of the story is good, but the character relationships could use some work. When I was reading it before, I always felt like some things were left on a rather unsatisfactory note. I have high standards, you know. Ahem, Mr. Xavier, if, hypothetically speaking, I agree to be the director, how much freedom would I have in terms of script revisions and creative interpretation?
Oh, as much freedom as you would need. I wouldn't dare doubt the tastes of Fontaine's greatest star.
Good. Then I'm free to alter the script as I see fit?
Absolutely, no problem.
Oui, pardon les amis. Nous comptons sur vous, grande réalisatrice Farina.
All right. It seems that your crew really can't go on without my care and direction.
So, you agree?
Yes, I agree. Although the pay is well below what someone of my caliber deserves, a great script calls for a great director. I mustn't let a perfectly good story be ruined due to lack of funds. If you have fine cheese and bread, you wouldn't just let it sit on the counter and get moldy just because you lack an oven, right?
Merci Farina.
Oh, Hydro Archon above! I'm not dreaming, am I? Somebody pinch me.
There's no more Hydro Archon, you know. And it's still a little early to celebrate. There's a lot that goes into shooting a film. Although the trickiest tasks of finalizing the script and casting the actors have already been taken care of, we'll still need to reserve filming locations. Not to say set up lighting and props. And by the way, since we'll be filming The Two Musketeers, we'll need to find an action choreographer. Ideally, a professional who has actual experience with muskets.
Yes, I've thought about this as well. I was hoping that you might know someone who could handle the job.
Me? If this was before, I could have simply asked Florand. But it's already been some time. Navia can also use firearms, but unfortunately, her style is quite different from that of the characters in the story.
Could we ask the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol?
Oh, you mean the Special Patrol's Musketeers?
Yes, that's right. They work with muskets every day. I can't think of anyone more qualified than them.
They would be under Nervilette's jurisdiction. Unfortunately, I, don't have any connection with them. So, in the end, we still have to start by talking to Nervilette.
No need to go to all that trouble. I know their Captain Chevres.
Oh, you do? Wait, Chiori, how do you know the captain of the Special Patrol's Musketeers?
No particular reason. Running a business means dealing with some trouble from time to time, and she's helped me out on a few occasions. In return, I've helped her handle a few situations in which the Special Patrol couldn't get involved directly. So, we've gotten to know each other over time.
So you're saying there's been times when the Special Patrol needed a fashion designer to handle a situation? Your work is becoming more and more mysterious.
It'd be best to keep it that way. Anyway, enough about that. What do you all think about her?
She sounds professional enough. She is a captain, after all. I have no objections.
But I imagine the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol must be busy with their duties. Do you think she'd really have time to help with shooting a film?
Well, it just so happens that she's also not the kind of person that's just after Mora. As for whether she has time,
Then I'll leave that to you. Macaroni's on sale today, so I've got to go. You can just tell me how things went when we discuss tomorrow's plan later.
No problem.
Having Farina join feels like a big boost to our team.
Of course. Just wait until the day of our premiere. You'll witness the true power of my name in these lands. I'll be sure to ask some people I know to see if they'd be willing to act as extras.
Seems like you're finally getting more comfortable with your own reputation now.
I didn't ask for the Clapper Loader's commentary, Paimon.
Ah ok. Alors. Courage. J'ai hâte de voir la première.
then let's get going. I happen to know where Chevreuse is today.
By the way, I'm curious. If my pay is so low, then...
Actually, they told us that they see the trip as part of a cultural exchange, so they didn't ask for any pay.
What? So is every person in Tevat who doesn't want money gathered here to shoot this film? Don't tell me Chiori isn't being paid either.
I already knew Xavier from before, and he's also agreed to give my brand some good exposure.
It seems the gods have really smiled upon you, Xavier. And that certainly doesn't include me, mind.
Elle arrête pas de préciser qu'elle fait plus partie des archons. Bon. Et ben on va continuer. Aïe. Excusez-moi. Voilà. Ah, il y a un truc à récupérer ici. On l'avait pas oublié. Bon. On a eu un truc par rapport connectif au jeu. Voilà. Il dort jamais, la nuit.
All right,
Il dort le
this is
jour.
the place.
But
Ah,
where's the captain?
pas vraiment le jour, moi. Je me suis couchée, il était 17h à peu près.
She's over there. The one with
Ouais,
an
il est
eye
nu.
patch reading in front of the newsstand.
Oh, her! Paimon
Non,
can tell
pour
there
moi
was
c'est la
something
nuit,
different
donc
about
c'est
her.
le moment d'aller me
She
coucher si j'ai
seems
envie.
kinda intimidating.
J'ai pas le droit de
Please
dormir
wait
tant
here
que le
for a
jour est
moment.
encore levé.
I'll go fetch her. She's working now, so you might not want to
Moi
get
j'ai
in
vu
her
la nuit, ça
way.
y est. Hein. La lune dans le ciel,
Working? But
les
isn't she just
étoiles,
standing there and reading a
les
novel?
lampadaires allumés et la nuit noire.
Just trust me.
Signe qu'on peut enfin aller dormir.
Oh, alright, let's see what happens then.
J'ai jamais dit ça, dis pas des bêtises comme ça quand je suis en
Chiori sure is a
live.
mysterious person. She claims just to be a
La
fashion
nuit
designer, but she
noire.
knows all these powerful people.
The court of Fontaine isn't
Arrête de dire des
particularly
bêtises.
tolerant of visitors from
Y a pas de
overseas,
racisme dans mon
so
livre.
it isn't easy for a foreigner to promote their brand here. Even more so
puis,
in the
racisme, c'est
competitive
super
world of
ennuyeux.
fashion. Even a local like me just trying to make a film has to face all kinds of challenges, so I can only imagine what...
Reading on the job?
Detective novel.
Ah bah la voilà chevreuse.
One main character?
No. Multiple. Branching storylines.
I see. How's...
One of the main characters is about to make a choice that will affect the rest of his life. I'd wager he's going to make the wrong choice.
Any way to speed things up? There's something I need your help with.
You know that doesn't depend on me. It all comes down to what the character chooses.
Which is exactly why I'm here to help.
All right. It appears he made the wrong choice in the end. Halt!
Huh? What's going...
Hand over whatever you're holding.
Oh, it's just a book. I didn't buy anything else.
Then I'm sure you wouldn't mind letting me have a look.
Excuse me, officer. I don't mind you standing around here, not purchasing anything, but I'd prefer if you didn't disturb my customers.
Don't give me that act. You won't be able to get off so easily either. I am Chevraz, captain of Fontaine's Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. I will say this one last time. Hand over whatever you're... And before you do anything unwise, let me remind you that I'll have you on the ground before you can even think about making a run for it.
All right. I'll give it to you. But please let me say something first. If there's any contraband in that book, then the shopkeeper here is the one who...
Why, you trying to leave me on the hook, huh? You were the one who said you wanted it.
Save it for the interrogation room. Take them away, Letelier.
What's going on here? One second you're reading a book and the next you're escorting people away.
Voilà.
And who are... Oh! Aren't you the traveler who's been... Maybe I can let you in on what's happening then. Now that Vacher has been brought to justice, no new shipments of synth will be made and distributed to sellers. Thanks to a tip from our reliable source here, this should be the very last batch.
Oh, so you were pretending to read a book in order to catch the bad guys. Oh, Paimon almost forgot to introduce ourselves. Paimon is Paimon, and this...
Hey, I'm Chevraz. You probably already heard me introduce myself, so I won't bother repeating it.
Pourquoi ne pas les avoir arrêtés directement?
Yeah, why didn't you make a move as soon as you had the
No, I wanted to see if the shopkeeper would turn himself in first. All he had to do was come up to me and say that he didn't know where the synth had come from. If he did that, then I wouldn't have had to press charges.
He had the whole day to turn the synth over to Chevraz. But instead, the moment I came up and blocked Chevraz's line of sight, he took the opportunity to sell it off.
Yep, he made the wrong choice, even though the right choice was right there in front of him.
But you knew they wouldn't make the right choice.
Yeah, I knew. I was just hoping I'd be wrong for once. Enough about that, though. What did you want to ask?
Oh, you see, it's like...
The Two Musketeers. You certainly have a good eye for a story. So what do you need me to do? Just be the action choreographer for the...
Yes, that's right. I want to make sure we get all the details right. I want the actor's posture and understanding of firearms to be as realistic as possible. However, I'm afraid this work will require a bit of your time, since you'll have to be present whenever we're filming. Also, as for the...
No need to say any more. I'll join.
Huh? Just like that?
Really? You're willing to help us with our humble film project?
Sure, it's no big deal. As I said, we've wrapped up our investigation here, so I don't have any other tasks on... Besides, I personally really like this novel. I even have the collector's edition at home. Stories where justice prevails over evil.
Then we've got a deal?
Yes, I'll see you on set tomorrow.
Oh my! I can hardly believe it! I should tell Lady Farina immediately. Oh, and I must tell the prop manager and lighting technician to get everything ready. We start filming tomorrow!
Calm down, Xavier. The film is going to take more than just a day to finish. Still, I should also head back now and start preparing the actors' costumes and makeup.
Alright, guess that's it for today then.
Traveler, Paimon, please stay for a moment. I have something to tell you.
Then I'll take Xavier back. Poor thing. He's so excited that he can't even walk straight anymore. I don't want to spend our first day fishing our producer out of the fountain.
Je pense que Xavier va pouvoir se maîtriser.
He'd better.
Et on va éviter que la vie tombe. Alors, chevreuse. Elle est où? Elle est là-bas.
So what did you want to tell us, Chef?
Have you read The Two Musketeers?
J'en ai entendu parler.
The story is about a pair of children born into the household of a baron, and their struggle to survive together and take revenge for their mother. They were raised at the baron's estate, where their mother worked as a maid. The two were illegitimate children that the baron had with the maid, so they were never treated well by anyone. One day, upon returning home, they found their mother had been murdered and left dead on the floor. It was, however, the baron was able to exert his influence and keep the whole thing under wraps. The mother's death was eventually deemed as a suicide, and there was no chance of... Many years later, members of the baron's family suddenly started turning up dead one after the other, all killed by gunshot. A rainbow rose was found on each of the victims' bodies, being the flower that the kid's mother liked best. The baron believed that the mother's soul had come to take vengeance on him, so he lived in fear each day. But it was actually those two siblings who had fled all those years ago. They relied on each other to survive and trained day and night. They used all of their abilities to collect evidence and clues before executing their plan and exacting revenge on the baron.
That's quite an exhilarating story.
Yep, the baron got what he deserved for his evil deeds, and justice was able to prevail. It was just the kind of story I enjoy.
Oh, so is that why you were so willing to join our crew, Chevreuse?
You could say it was one of the reasons.
Oh, you mean there were other reasons too?
I've read the reports about you. Whether it was at the trials or when you lent your hand to resolve our nation's crisis, you've shown that you've got a strong sense of justice, as well as a great mind for deductions.
Vous aimeriez que l'on vous aide sur une affaire? Oh là là, le réveil pour moi.
Yes, you're as sharp as I expected. It seems you've experienced many similar situations before. There's been a recent murder case involving muskets. The perpetrator's methods appeared...
Huh? Really? But Paimon didn't see anything about that in today's papers.
The Marechaussee Phantom hasn't yet released any information to the public, because the investigation is currently at a standstill.
A murder involving firearms?
Impossible. We perform a routine inspection of our firearms and ammo reserves every day. If one of the weapons had been fired, it would stick out like a sore thumb. However... Well, that's all I can disclose about the case today.
Huh? What do you mean?
I hope you all can go back and get some shut-eye. You can decide tomorrow whether or not you'd like to join the investigation with me. I'm aware this might not be the ideal time to add more to your plate, but the more capable people we have, the better the chances that justice will prevail.
Il y a personne de la patrouille de surveillance spéciale pour vous aider?
Carrying out investigations isn't actually supposed to be our responsibility. Our job is to apprehend the perpetrators. Finding them is really up to the Marechaussee Phantom. I don't want people to see muskets in a negative way, and also, I'm concerned about the similarity between the crimes and the...
You mean, they might be connected somehow?
I suspect so. Just to make myself clear, this is not an order, nor is it a deal of any kind. If you two have any interest in the case after we finish filming tomorrow, and are willing to assist me...
What do you think, Traveler?
Il s'est passé beaucoup de choses aujourd'hui.
Yeah, you're right. Paimon's getting a little tired too.
You'd better head back and get some rest. It's good to keep a calm mind, especially when you're about to make an important decision. Otherwise, when the moment comes, you might end up like that shopkeeper and not even realize that the right choice is right there in front of you.
Du coup, on a 40 primogènes de plus. Ça, c'est pas de refus. Donc là, on doit attendre 8h à 10h. Donc on va avancer le temps, comme d'hab.
It's finally time to meet up with everyone. Paimon even dreamt of making the film last night. If Paimon remembers right, we're meeting at Hotel de Bourg. Let's get going.
C'est pas encore au bon niveau pour l'instant, quoi.
Ayaka, Yoimiya, you're already here.
Good morning. Xavier said yesterday afternoon went well.
Yeah, and how about you, Ayaka? What were you up to yesterday?
After we split up, Ayato went to see Udex Nervillette at the Palais Mermonia.
Ayato, il a rencontré Novillette.
I was originally thinking of going with him, but he said he could manage it himself. He told me to go see the sights around Fontaine and to enjoy the local culture. So I rode the aqua bus with Yoimiya and visited the opera house on Aranias Island.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe what we saw there! 2 mechanical puppets that were dancing together! You've already seen them, right?
On est... Attends. Alexa, quel jour on est?
Aujourd'hui, nous sommes le mercredi 27 décembre.
Mercredi 27 décembre. De rien. Attends une minute, les amis. Je fais un petit truc. Voilà. C'est bon. Alors, on en était où? Ah oui. L'humiliation de Coppelia ou le châtiment de Coppelius. Je crois que... Et le châtiment de Coppelius en Italie. Tac.
Yeah, those two!
Ouais.
Amazing, aren't they?
We sat and watched for quite a while. It was mesmerizing. Like we could keep watching them forever.
Oh, it was the same for us the first time we saw them too.
Afterwards, we went swimming at the beach. Well, diving, to be exact. It was the first time I ever breathed underwater. I held Ayaka's hand and we counted down together. 3, 2, 1, and then splash! We were beneath the waves. At first, I didn't dare to open my mouth. But once I couldn't hold my breath any longer, I decided to take a big breath in. Turns out, water wasn't as salty as I imagined. It didn't really taste like anything at all. Before I knew it, I was breathing like normal down there. It was an amazing feeling. Ayaka said I was too nervous and needed to loosen my grip. She got used to everything way faster than I did.
I knew that the Traveler could do it, so I had no doubt we could do it too. That helped me feel at ease as soon as we dove in. The underwater world in Fontaine truly is beautiful. I love seeing the romaritime flowers blossoming underwater, like little candles lighting up the streets at night.
Yeah, and there were so many creatures that we've never seen in Inazuma. Like those fish that shimmer like a sword blade. Whoosh! Oh, and those big fish that call when they see people.
Oh, you mean Hunter's Rays and Blubber Beasts.
I just love the name Blubber Beast. Just wait till Pops and the others hear about this. They probably won't believe a word I say.
C'est mignon, elle découvre le monde sous-marin. Je l'avais dit de toute façon, quand je me réveille, je mets du temps. Enfin, c'est plus mon corps qui met du temps à se réveiller. Alors, il n'y a pas de parole pour Ayaka, c'est étonnant ça.
Yeah, even I was worried that I wouldn't be able to get up. I still felt like I was drifting in the waves when I went to sleep last night. But as soon as I woke up today, I remembered that we'd all be shooting a film together, and I was ready to go.
Speaking of the film, where's everybody else?
My brother and Xavier were speaking to the restaurant owner about using the place as a filming location. They should be here soon. As for the others,
We're here.
Please excuse my tardiness. I just finished the Special Patrol's 6-mile morning jog.
Wait, 6 miles?
I'm so tired. I heard you all chatting, so I decided to come down.
good morning, everyone.
Ah, y a quelqu'un qui tombe malade.
Morning. Can someone fetch me a cup of coffee? More milk?
Sure, I'd be happy to do that for you.
No, you can't go anywhere. Please, have a seat over here so I can get started on your makeup. The last thing I want is coffee stains on my costumes.
I can get the coffee. It's the perfect job for an assistant.
C'est qui a appelé?
So much energy.
Calvez-nous. J'entends même pas ta voix. Alors que c'est à fond.
You're not used to waking up so early, huh?
Of course not. I
Il est
spent the
parti
whole
pisser,
night
comme il a
reading the
dit.
novel from cover to cover, marking sections that either need to be omitted or adapted.
Oh là.
Wow.
Bon, il va pas
Paimon
le
didn't
comprendre.
expect you to be so thorough.
Well, I was the biggest star in all of Fontaine after all. It takes more than just a pretty face to earn a reputation like that.
Après, t'as pas le niveau
I know
assez
how to
grand,
get
hein, pas
serious
comme
when
lui,
the
quoi.
situation calls for
Pour un
it.
slibiste.
I went all out when I was acting as an archon,
Donc s'il était
so
sûr d'aller aux
why
toilettes
wouldn't
avant,
I
il
do
aurait
the
pu
same for my own
attendre un
life?
petit peu.
Here's your coffee, Director Farina.
Le bon petit café de Furina.
Oh, thank you.
Elle en avait bien besoin.
The sound of being called director and the aroma of coffee feels almost as refreshing as hearing the birds chirping in the morning.
Ah, it seems everyone has managed to arrive on time.
We've reached an agreement with the restaurant owner. We are free to use the second floor to shoot our film.
Really? That's great!
He is really looking forward to our film, and hopes that providing his restaurant as a filming location will attract more Well then, Mr. Xavier, I'll leave the rest to you.
Okay, thanks. First, I'd like to introduce our new members. This is our prop manager, Veronique. She'll be in charge of all the films. And this is Bienvenue, our lighting technician. He'll be in charge of lighting and illumination.
Wow. Sure feels like we have some real
Si quelqu'un
professionals
est en train de
joining the
parler,
crew
je peux
now.
entendre parce que si c'est
First of all,
Calvino,
please allow me to first express my sincerest gratitude to everyone in the
c'est tellement
crew.
petit. La
When
voix,
my
j'entends
investor
pas.
informed me yesterday that he wouldn't be able to provide the funds, I really thought that this was the
Alors,
nail
attends
in the
qu'il y ait
coffin
Berlin.
for this film. I had no idea that I'd find so many people willing to help me on.
No need to be so cordial, Mr. Xavier. We're all honored to be a
Juste
part of
plus
this.
affronter un civis tout seul.
Your
mieux
works
pas.
made a profound impression on me when I saw them back in Inazuma. I am sure that someday,
Ah, il est de retour,
this
ça y est.
film will be remembered as a prime example.
Yes, the story is the reason I agreed to join. I can't bear to even imagine what this film would look like without the very best director.
Anyway, I would like to make a promise to everyone that as the producer of this film, I'll do whatever I can to ensure that everything goes as smoothly as possible. This is not just my film. It also embodies the thoughts and feelings of every person here, as well as the endless effort we... So, without further ado, the Two Musketeers will officially begin... You may take it from here, Director...
All right. Listen up. The first scene takes place when the two young musketeers are living at the Baron's home, still unaware of all that is about to happen to them. We'll need props and lighting to set the scene. Our lead actors can go get their makeup done, and extras,
Là, en ce
please
moment,
take
c'est
this
Genshin
time to
Impact.
go over
Normal,
your
sur la première
positions.
aventure. Des
Whoa.
fois, il peut y avoir du bloc
Seems
squeeze qui vient
Farina's
d'être en
really
public.
kicking things into gear as the director.
Is
Tower of
everyone
Fantasy.
clear? I don't want anyone traipsing around the set like umbrella finches.
Mais il y a
All
personne
right,
à cette heure-ci.
cameras will
en
start
fait.
rolling as soon as the set is ready. Let's make a
Du coup, c'est
film
une
that'll make
rediffusion
some
pour
serious
que ça
waves in Fontaine. Not the kind of waves that drown people. I mean, the good kind of waves.
Seems like she's still a bit traumatized by that. Anyway, let's go see if there's anything we can do to help.
Hop, le deuxième acte qui est en train de se mettre. Donc on va commencer une nouvelle quête. Alors, chercher les personnes qui ont besoin d'aide.
Ayaka has mentioned you to me before. She said that you two were great friends when you were kids.
No talking. I'm thinking about how to do your eyeshadow.
Ah, yes. To help me really look the part.
To achieve a more young...
Are you saying the wrinkles around my eyes are too deep?
You just have too much of a calculating look in your eyes.
You sure don't mince your words. It seems you really haven't changed much.
Quiet.
How about here?
A little more to the left.
You got it.
Hey, Yoimiya, do you need a hand?
No, I'm fine. You know, doing the lighting is kind of like designing a fireworks show. I heard that the Traveler will be operating the camera and Paimon will be the clapper loader, right?
Really? Is that because it'll be easy for Paimon to hold the clapperboard while flying?
Well, sure, there's that, but that's not exactly what I meant. I just think that after all your journeys together, you two must have developed a super close bond and just naturally know how to work with each other. If I'm not mistaken, the director will want the cameras rolling as soon as the clapperboard goes clack.
Eh bien, en réalité, on commence à filmer avant le clap.
Oh, I see. It's amazing to see them.
Yoimiya, we need lights over there, too.
Oh, on it! I've got to get back to work. Chat with you later. Oh.
On va y arriver. Ça va
Seems
être un
like
beau
Yoimiya's
tournage.
really getting into it. But she was right. We do have a super close bond, don't we?
C'est évident. Alors, préparez-vous pour le tournage.
So, this is a real...
No, it's just a prop weapon. Not bad. Have you seen a real musket before?
Only in books and newspapers. I made this one based on the relative shape and proportion. When we're filming, some special gunpowder will be applied around the muzzle,
Which means it'll be up to the actors to portray the recoil.
That's right. The sound effects for gunshots will also be added in post-production.
Thank you, Veronique. I think I know where to start now. However, the musket's gears and firing pin could still use some work. Adding some weight. Also, be sure to rub the muskets with some oil each time before we start shooting.
Good point.
You seem to know a lot, Miss Chevres. I assume you use these types of firearms on a regular basis?
Yes, I perform routine maintenance on my weapons every day. Just like we as people need to eat and sleep, muskets need to be cleaned and maintained.
I also perform similar care for my sword every day, and familiarize myself with its shape and weight, to the point where it feels like a natural extension of my body.
Yes, this way, our weapons will never betray us in the heat of battle.
Yes, well said. It seems we have the same philosophy on this topic.
Oh, sounds like they found a common interest to talk about.
Though these props differ from the muskets I use, I can still give you some pointers.
Good. I look forward to your instruction.
First and foremost, never point the weapon at anyone, regardless of whether it's a real or prop weapon, or whether you're holding it or it's on the table.
Okay,
When aiming the musket, extend your arm so that it's level with your shoulder, and use your eye to look down the weapon's sights.
Like this?
Not bad. Now, try saying
This is the end of the road for you.
Good. Now turn your body a little. That way, this is the end of the road for you.
Huh. Excuse me, Miss Chiori. Director Farina, there's something I wish to discuss with you.
Oh? What is it?
Like this?
Yes, much better.
What do you think?
I
believe it would be most fitting.
Well, if you insist. Miss Ayaka!
Huh? What's going on? Are we gonna...
Let's go see.
What is it?
I have a question for you, Miss Chevres. Would...
What?
To clarify, I would like to turn over my role to Miss Shove.
But brother...
Don't worry, Ayaka. I actually view that I was becoming troubled trying to set aside some time to speak to the staff at the Palais Mermonia. I would like to have some conversations about the cultural exchange between our two countries. Now, I will be able to focus on my work. Besides, you all...
Are you really... From a director's point of view, I also felt like the relationship between the two musketeers in the older brother in the story plays the lead role with his overbearing character. But this causes his character to overshadow that of his sister. And the theme of the two supporting and relying on each other isn't But if we were to change the siblings to two sisters of a similar age... Also, I've seen you instructing Ayaka. That cold and dignified personality is...
Of course. Even with all these insights, the decision...
Chevres mentioned that she really likes the story, right? Paimon bets that she'll take the role.
Mais on ne sait pas si elle a envie d'être actrice.
All right, Good. It's decided then. I'll get started on We'll also need to make some immediate... I have a feeling that our adaptation...
You're doing a great favor for me, Miss Chevres.
Don't mention it. I like this character, so if anything, I should...
Well, since my brother is the one who brought up the idea... Let's go, Miss Chevres. I look forward to working with you.
Please, just call me Chevre.
Seems like you're really going out of your way to solve the problem I was having with your...
Surely you jest, Chiori. I assure you that I was mostly motivated by...
Oh, come on. You really think I'd buy that? According to what I've heard from Ayaka...
Perhaps. Ayaka always said she wanted to go out and see more of the world, just like the Traveler. But I feel that she needs not only to see other nations, but also to make some different kinds of friends. I think it would be harder for her to make new connections with me constantly by her side.
All right, go on. Spoil her some more.
Ayato! It's too bad you're stepping down from the role. Paimon really wanted to see you act as a musketeer.
Au nom de la justice.
No need to poke fun at me. I'd wager that you also...
It's a little hard for Paimon to imagine you saying those lines.
Vous allez vous remettre au travail?
Yes. I've made an appointment to meet some people from the Palais Mermonia.
Traveler, get the camera ready. Paimon, get the clapperboard. Actors, to your positions. We're about to start shooting the...
Go on now. And please...
Yep, don't worry.
Comptez sur nous.
Thank you. I look forward to seeing the film when it's fit.
All right. Now that we're all here, let me help set the scene for everyone. The first scene takes place when our two main characters are still living at the Baron's estate. They've been ostracized and verbally abused by others in the household, but they still have no... Chevres will be playing the role of the older sister, Tulip, and Ayaka will be the younger sister, Iris. Silence on the set! Lights! Camera! Action!
Let's go!
Tulip, Mother's been out for quite a while now.
Perhaps she went to pick some flowers on the way home. You know how she loves flowers.
Iris, Tulip! I'm home!
Faire un plan rapproché sur la mer.
Mother! You were out for so long, we were beginning to worry about you.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm back now, safe and sound. Here, I brought your favorite treat. Apples...
Mother, what are those bruises on your hand?
Faire un gros plan sur la mer, je pense.
Huh? What bruises? Oh,
I must have bumped into something while I was working yesterday.
Attendez une minute, ma soeur vient d'envoyer un message.
I didn't notice them this morning.
Then perhaps they're from when I accidentally tripped when I was out just now. By the way, did you have fun playing at home?
Qu'est-ce qu'elle me raconte?
What's the matter, Iris?
Je suis trop malade demain. Il faut que je rejoigne papa en ville. Il y a moyen qu'il me ramène les sous à la mairie demain après-midi. Et moi, je vais directement après médecin. C'est pour ça, 15h45, rendez-vous. Ben, papa aussi, il est très malade en ce moment. Je sais pas s'il sortira demain. J'essaierai de lui en parler, mais ça l'empêche carrément de se lever et même de sortir voir ses potes. Hein. Il a mal, il a un truc dans l'oreille, je crois, une sorte de bouton. On sait pas avec mamie si c'est l'abcès qu'il a eu quand il avait 11 ans, qui serait de retour. Et en plus de ça, comme je t'ai dit, il a des envies de vomir. Du coup, je verrai si ça va mieux demain. Là, il est pas bien pour l'instant pour dormir. Je verrai ça avec lui de toute façon. Mais quand on est malade, tu vois à quel point on peut pas sortir. Là, il va vraiment pas bien. J'arrête pas de veiller sur lui depuis. Ça m'inquiète. Toute ma famille commence à tomber malade. Il n'y a que moi qui échappe pour l'instant. Il me faut absolument le micro-ondes aujourd'hui que ma mamie trouvera. Pour que je puisse me refaire du miel de Nigel. D'Angélé. Alors, faire un gros plan sur Iris.
Well, we've realized that no one really wants to play with us.
They even took Iris's doll and spat at us.
And they even called us names. They said we were...
Shh. It's all right. Don't worry. Girls, listen to me. It doesn't matter what anyone says. Don't listen to them. No one can define you with such words. You both have wonderful lives ahead of you. Just like your names. You will both blossom like beautiful flowers. Maybe your time to blossom hasn't quite come yet. But one day, you two will bloom more beautifully than anything else. Don't let the soil you're in now ruin your future beauty. Understand? My dear daughters.
And cut! Not bad. The actor's emotions were all on point. Let's keep that take. Also, if our clapper loader could avoid shouting at the start of the scene next time...
Oh, got it.
Great. I was a little worried that my nerve...
I felt fine. The lines weren't too difficult at all. Seems like Farina must have adapted the role nicely.
You two were great. I couldn't tell it was your first time acting in a film. You should have more confidence.
Quoi?
Thank you for your encouragement.
Positions, everyone! We'll move on to the next scene after we try a few more camera angles.
Ouais. Mais bon, j'ai...
This scene is when our two characters return home, only to discover their mother has been murdered.
Je te promets de pas faire de bêtises.
Ready? Lights! Camera! Action!
Mother, we're back! Mother? What's wrong, Tulip?
Iris, stay away!
Huh? Why? What's... Mother!
Ouais.
Mother... She's...
There's poison in this cup.
Huh? I could have sworn I've seen this kind of cup before.
Those aristocrats. They didn't even try to cover up their actions.
Ouais.
Iris, we need to leave this place.
Leave? But now that Mother is gone, where can we even go?
Il y a toujours Calvin avec nous?
Anywhere. All I know is that we can't stay in this house.
But are we just going to let them get away with this?
We'll have our revenge, I promise you. Just not right now. Come on, let's go.
No, wait. We can't just leave Mother here like this. At least let me leave this rose with her. That's why we went out in the first place. To buy her this flower.
All right. Goodbye, Mother. We'll avenge you. Someday.
And cut! Beautiful! Great performance! Oh my, you're so amazing, Ayaka! And were those real tears I saw?
I was surprised too.
Thank you for the kind compliments. Actually, as soon as Director Farina said action, it's quite similar to practicing the art of the sword. You clear your mind and focus.
Ayaka's performance was amazing. Have I discovered an acting prodigy?
Pipe down, everyone!
Traveler. Is your arm sore from holding the camera all day?
Mais c'était très amusant.
Good work, you two.
You too, Chevres. You were quite the actress today.
I've read this novel many times before. I have a... Anyway, do you remember my request from yesterday?
Oh, right! We were having so much fun that Paimon nearly forgot. You have a case where the murders seem really simple.
In the story, the main characters grow up to become two musketeers, always using their guns to carry out their revenge. And on each of the victims, they place a rainbow rose as a signal that they've returned. Yes, that's correct.
Oh, that... Especially after seeing the script today. Ooh, what do you think, Traveler? You're smart. Paimon wants to hear your thoughts.
Je pense que nous pouvons nous joindre à l'enquête.
Good. On behalf of Fontaine's Special Security and Surveillance Patrol, thank you for your dedication. There's no time to lose. We should start investigating right away. Follow...
Huh? Right now? Well, we just got done filming all day.
The most valuable intel always comes after nightfall. They are like small, remote islands in the middle of the sea. If you don't... That's how one of my favorite books always puts it, at least.
So, where are we going right now?
Let's start by checking out some workshops that sell mechanical components. If the culprit is making their own weapons, it's very likely that they'll visit those sort of places.
C'est pas bien de réclamer.
Welcome to Le Show's Clockwork Workshop. How can I help you?
Hello. I'd like to know if anyone has purchased some special components.
Special components? Sorry, could you be more specific?
I mean the kind of components that aren't typically used for clockwork toys, but for firearms.
Huh? For firearms? No, we don't sell those sort of things.
Don't misunderstand. I'm not here to cause any trouble. We are merely investigating a case, and we're hoping that you could cooperate.
Well, to be completely honest, I'm not even sure what kind of components that would entail.
Has anyone ever purchased components here as an individual rather than on behalf?
We have a lot of customers who buy toys, but those who buy components are all regular customers who buy in bulk on behalf of their organization.
Is that so?
You're welcome. It's the least I can do.
Oh, hey, Chevres. Run out of oil for your musket again?
Hello, Estelle. I want to know if anyone has come to your shop recently to order some...
Oh, is this another case? I don't think so. Some people have requested that I make some prop guns for the Fontanalia Film Festival.
Oh? What?
Because there's no profit! I only make things here that can do some real heavy lifting.
Then has anybody come specifically looking for mechanic?
Well,
I understand. Thanks for your...
Don't mention it. Always happy to have the...
Seems like we haven't found any...
Yeah, unfortunately.
Huh?
You think so, huh? Then I guess...
Huh? No what?
That I grew up in...
Il est dans sa vidéo, je crois.
Hello, I'd like to ask some questions.
I don't know anything.
Don't worry, I'm not here...
You say that now.
It's the truth. Here, take this as my guarantee.
Wait, did Paimon just see what she thinks she saw? Is the captain of the special patrol bribing a citizen?
Seems you're different from the other guards. What do you want to know?
Have you heard anything related to muskets in Fleuve Cendre lately? Anything at all?
Muskets, huh? All I know is that about 2 weeks ago, we started hearing some loud noises at night. So loud that it's been waking me up.
Were they gunshots?
Possibly. It's hard to tell around here. Someone's house collapsing, a pipe exploding somewhere, it's all the same. But the noises I'm talking about definitely happened after I fell asleep.
Do you know where the noises were coming from?
I don't remember clearly.
Is it that you don't remember, or that you need to think about it some more?
You tell me.
Then please, think about it some more.
J'ai encore des œufs Kinder. J'espère que c'est pas Kinder, quoi. J'ai quoi d'autre encore? Des chocolats que ma mamie a donné, des pralinés. Et des chocobons. Donc j'ai de quoi manger au cas où si je suis trop loin pour que j'ai des vertiges, quoi. Pour essayer de reprendre un peu de force et manger un vrai truc après. C'est peut-être juste de la pâte de fruits.
The noises came from the end of the southern waterway. I came out and had a look for myself. That's all I know.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
Thanks for the pâte de fruits.
No need to be surprised. I grew up here, remember? I know how to get people around here to talk.
Je veux bien de la pâte de fruits.
My apologies, I'm all out of sweets. Though I do have some other tempting snacks in my custody. Fries, fried chicken, and even onion rings. But taking care of junk food is my responsibility. You're better off sticking to your normal, nutritious diet. Now then, let's keep going.
Bonjour, une tortue. C'est vrai que tu peux pas parler. Mais est-ce que tu es vraiment une simple tortue bosselée? Mais pourquoi j'attends une réponse, moi? Enfin, bon, l'espoir fait vivre, hein? Merci. C'était vraiment un moment de vérité. On n'a parlé qu'une tortue.
You're most certainly correct, my dear.
Bah oui, il faut guetter. Il y en a, ils le prennent déjà avant vous. Dans tout ce que vous êtes, si vous êtes un public. Ah, va falloir guetter.
It's been a while, Tetro.
Please, just get on with your request.
I want to know if you've heard anybody talking about muskets lately.
Les amis, j'ouvre un kiff quand même. Faut que je mange.
Information isn't free, you know.
Tant qu'on n'a pas mes
I've
comptes,
heard
je peux
that
pas me faire
bandits
foutre
have
du
been
fromage
extremely
ou quoi que ce
active in the countryside
Normalement,
recently,
grâce à ma mamie,
and they've been
on a
affecting the
mes comptes
delivery
demain.
of goods to Poisson. I can allocate some more manpower to help out with that problem. What do you say?
Heureusement que j'ai expliqué.
You're still as helpful as ever.
Je vais pouvoir me
One of
refaire
our
des
men
chocolats
got
chauds,
drunk
des
at dinner about a
cappuccinos,
month ago and lost his gun.
toute seule du coup,
3 days later,
sans me
it
cramer
turned
avec
up in
la
the
poêle.
corner here.
Ou avec les
What's
quatre.
weird about that? You just forgot where he put it, right?
Cappuccino seulement.
This is Fluff-Sandra, my
Faut que
friend.
je rachète deux trucs à cappuccino.
Anything of value left in the tavern
demanderai à ma
won't
mamie
ever
qu'elle m'en
make
prenne
it to the next day.
Au chocolat.
But that gun turned out to be an exception. It didn't get...
I suspect it came back because the weapon was already known to the guards.
You mean, a
I didn't say anything about a criminal.
In Fluff-Sandra, knowing who was killed is as easy as knowing what clothes you're wearing today. It's the guy living in the east side, isn't it?
So, who was the one who lost the gun in the first place?
Don't bother. Even if you ask...
He's right.
I know you grew up here, Shovris. Even though you're on good terms with the Spina, you've still been gone too...
I know.
So take my advice and don't show your face too much around here. It's for your own safety.
I'll come and go as I please. And I'm afraid I'll be appearing
c'est
more
normal,
often
t'es
due to my work.
All right. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Faut que tu farmes.
Whatever business you're in, gotta keep up with the changing times.
Mais il faut pas du niveau plus haut. Moi j'en ai partout des bonbons à citron.
What's all
Ah
this?
oui, les os.
Some broken planks and barrels, as well as some liquor bottles?
Yes, but have a closer look, Paimon. Even though somebody has purposefully tried to clean them up, these are obviously marks from musket bullets. In other words, someone was here trying to improve their shot. They were using the barrels and bottles for target practice.
Could it have been the killer?
Your guess is as good as mine. Although many people at Fleuve Cendres own guns, few hide the fact from others. And even fewer would go to such lengths to hide markings from practice shots. Anyway, let's go. There might be more to this. Seems like that's all we'll be able to uncover for today.
Paimon feels like we managed to learn a lot more here than up on the surface.
Yes. Assuming that everything we found is indeed connected to our suspect, then a month ago, our suspect found a gun and took it home to disassemble. In the following weeks, he used some parts to create his own Then, a few days ago, he found his target and carried out the murder.
That all makes sense to Paimon, but we're still no closer to figuring out the killer's identity.
Hein? Non, ça va, je fermais toujours les coffres, petit à petit. Parce qu'il arrivera pas à jouer, ça se trouve, c'est ça.
The deceased was a resident of Fleuve Cendres. It's said that he was a poor, solitary man.
Pourtant, dans l'histoire, il s'agissait d'un aristocrate, non?
Yeah, that's also something I'm trying to figure out. If we are indeed following the novel, and there's a story behind the murder, then this murder should be an act of vengeance. But according to our investigation, the deceased didn't have any enemies. He was no saint, but no one's heard of a rival who hated him enough to shoot him dead. Much less care to leave a rose on his body. What message is the killer trying to convey? And to whom exactly?
Vous pensez que ça pourrait être l'auteur du roman?
We've thoroughly investigated that possibility.
Il est jamais arrivé.
He claims to have spent the whole day at the Opera House on the day of the murder, and the staff there have confirmed his account.
Okay, so he has an alibi.
Not only that, he lacks a credible motive as well. He has a family of his own, and both of his parents are still alive. I've looked into his records. He was adopted at the age of 6, and all the proper procedures were followed. In the story, the mother of the 2 musketeers was murdered after the children turned 10. Of course, he could have changed the children's ages, but I don't want to assume anything without evidence. More importantly, I've also had a chat with him in person. He didn't seem like the kind of person—
Then, what should we do now? We have all this new information, but it doesn't help us move forward.
Investigations take time. I didn't expect us to catch the culprit in just a single day. How about this? Let's spend the next few days filming with the crew. We can continue the investigation once we're done with the film.
Wait, but weren't you saying Intel is like small, remote islands in the middle of the sea just a moment ago? What are you—
Ah, but the book had more than one reference to the island.
Oh? What else did it say then?
As long as you spend enough time sailing through the fog, you'll eventually come across an island.
On doit attendre 8 heures, donc on remet à 8 heures le truc. Voilà.
It's filming time again! Our schedule is jam-packed for the next couple of days, too.
Excuse-moi, j'ai pas trop
We've got so
entendu.
many
J'ai trop
different
loin de
locations
ton
and
micro, je crois.
sets to cover. Anyway, let's head out and meet up with the others.
Water comes in many flavors to the discerning palate. Mondstadt's water is crisp and pure, while water from Liyue has an enduring aftertaste.
Donc, les
In
amis, ça fait
Inazuma,
1h46
the water
de live.
possesses a depth of
On
flavor
avait dit comme
unlike
règle au
any
cas où,
other.
quand il y a personne,
Sumeru's water
1 heure de live normalement.
has a
Ensuite, 40
rich and
minutes de plus.
complex flavor
Du
profile,
coup, c'est la belle rediffusion,
but
pour
it
pas que
must
ce
be
soit trop long.
savored patiently
Je vous fais des gros
to
bisous,
fully
à bientôt.
appreciate it.
Et là, je vais aller faire un tour sur Bloxfree. Et je verrai pour vous faire un live si vous en avez l'envie un jour. Bisous tout le monde, à bientôt.